Matthew, and I am so blessed and so honored to stand here by this woman who brought into this world the beautiful gift of Shane Emerson. Mrs. Emerson, we stand with you. Our hearts are heavy as we remember. So most will be Redeemer. A lot of you know this place. I know Shane knew this place well. I remember, especially kind of pre-COVID time. So as a pastor, I live here, I work here. I'm kind of behind the scenes a lot of the times, but Shane would come into the office sometimes and pick up the key for the hall downstairs. A lot of you are familiar with that process. It's a simple thing. It takes 30 seconds. You sign out a key, you go on your way. I don't think anything was ever just simple for Shane Emerson. I think everything was a moment, and everything was an opportunity. His kindness, his energy, his exuberance, his joy, even in something simple as just picking up a key for a meeting downstairs. It was a moment. And it's been since before pandemic days, so going on, what, 2 years? So I haven't seen him for quite a while, but he left a mark. In just a little way, at least I know he left a huge mark on those who knew him, worked with him, called him friend, brother, son, companion, beloved. Today, on this beautiful day, I'm really thankful to welcome you into this place, to welcome Shane upstairs. And a lot of you have told me that, oh, I haven't really been upstairs very much. It's kind of it's kind of nice up here. And so we're all welcome. So we'll say a couple things again in short. All are welcome here in this place where God's inclusive love is proclaimed and where we try every day to not just proclaim, but to live inclusive love. So today, on this day, we celebrate love. We celebrate the love of Shane. We celebrate the gift of friendship, the gift of connections, and the gift of life. Today we stand together, we love and support one another. For that's what we do. Whether it's in church, whether it's in a meeting, whether it's in that place of support, we love and support. We love and stand together. And so today, in reflections, in word, in song, in prayer, to our higher power, we express gratitude and love. Welcome in this place where all are welcome. Welcome into this place of inclusive love. So thank you to Mom for bringing her beloved boy into this world.
Hi, I'm James McClure. And at this time, I'd like to ask all flight attendants to please stand in honor of our flying partner, Shane. Please prepare for departure.
Thank you, Father. Thank you, United.
And my friends, it's okay if you take off, if you're comfortable when you're speaking, you can take off your mask.
Shane Emerson was my older brother. He was the best brother. He was the only brother I had. He was not just my only brother, but the best brother anyone could ever ask for. He was always there for his family, friends, and would do anything he could to help them out. I would tell Shane that my daughter Gracie has a really big bug bite, and the next night I know he would be like searching on Amazon looking for mosquito venom suckers. Or if I ever told him like I couldn't sleep that night, I would, have a package on my door a couple days later, and there was like Amazon, with like the most comfortable sheets anyone could ask for, And it's like, it was just always so thoughtful in every way. Always did everything he could for, and just try to share the love. My brother also had the biggest heart you could imagine. I could tell just by everyone being here that how much he cared and how much people cared for him. I'm so proud of my brother, and we made each other proud. He was just an amazing person. We've talked about dreams and stuff a lot of times on our road trips, and about his dreams, and talk about our dreams, and he wanted everyone's dreams to be fulfilled. He went out of his way to make sure, he wanted to make everyone happy, and they could get what they wanted. My brother Shane truly lived life to the fullest. His smile was contagious, and everyone was happier and at their best when he was around. I will forever remember our many road trips to the beach, visiting families and friends, our quest for the best foods and finding the restaurant, whichever it was. If we were looking for the best chicken sandwich or the best cinnamon roll, he was always on a mission, no matter what. And on these road trips, we had bad singing. It was bad. We would sing, Gracie would always make fun of us. But most importantly, I will miss his love. He was always a phone call away. He was always there. The only time he would not answer is between 9 p.m. and 8 in the morning when he was sleeping, or if he was at work on a plane or at a meeting, but you could always otherwise count on Shane, and he was always there. I just miss, just calling him for advice, his words of encouragement. I would tell him I have a job interview, and he's like, you're gonna nail it. Just be yourself and stuff. And meanwhile, I'm in the dressing room and we're Skyping, and he's like, I'm like, does this look good, Shane? Does this look good? So that meant a lot. He was always there for me. I loved his advice and his support with everything, and how he showed everyone, my daughter, my mom, my aunt, and all of you. I know he's touched all of your lives in some way. So on behalf of my family, my dad Larry, my mom Juan, my auntie Tana over there, my daughter Gracie, and my sister Carrie, we'd just like to thank you all for showing the appreciate and making Shane's life what it was. I knew he had a great life, and he loved all of you, and he just loved life to the fullest. So, thank you.
Get prepared here myself. Thanks. I'm Jeffrey Johnson. I'll be honest, everything about my being didn't want to do this. Mind and body fiercely resisted sitting down and writing. My ADD activated my PhD level powers of procrastination. I could feel him rolling his eyes, but not surprised. But finally I got back to center and could see this as a beautiful opportunity to express love, to share with you, and to thank you, most of all Shane. As I've been taught, when we lasso our willfulness, we can tame ourselves and our lives into, and then I didn't finish the sentence, but into what Shane made of his life. I'll just say here that I am so grateful that he got to do things, he liked doing things the way he wanted, but to really live the way he wanted, to finally have a contract at work that paid him properly, and then be able to go to Greece. And he always had this hunger and thirst for better, for what was better and next. So, hello, my friend, shouted the jovial Chinese woman who greeted us and the throng of fellows we were with when Shane and I broke bread together, or picked up chopsticks together for the first time on March 15th, 2004. We had seen each other and met before, but this was the start of the great adventure. As Michael T., Robert M., and John H. can attest, the table has been the setting for the overwhelming majority of our photos over the years. Almost every day in the memories comes us eating. And hello, my friend, it was. Being back then an active pastry chef, we immediately clicked and bonded as foodies. The last time I saw him in person, I was playfully boasting about me, of all people, giving his mother, of all people, a cleaning tip. Imagine that. How to get coffee and tea stains off bone china. And I think in this unique relationship, he was the coffee and I was the tea, I guess. Shane was my best friend, brother, platonic spouse, and ultimately soulmate. I wasn't sure I'd ever hear that word spoken about me, but he did, and we were. As I was typing this, I realized that that perhaps is the reason my soul is so acutely restless and frankly distraught right now. Its match has, shall we say, left the building. I will say, spiritually and energetically, Shane has been very close by us, with us this past week. In fact, it's changed how I view what is beyond or next. It's been very profound. I love that Shane's very purposely chosen middle name is Tuan, Vietnamese for harmony. And in so many ways, he brought harmony to my life. And just that evening out of pitch and each of us doing our own thing, but in harmony. We built each other up and came in beaten down to our special rooms where we recovered. And what a ride. We would bicker like an old married couple. And I could tell by the way he answered the phone, like what mood, what mood he was in, yeah. Honey, or honey, or, It's like, we're about to go get food, or I can't find something in my room. And, oh gosh, so many experiences. Many of you know about our beloved retreat we've had around Halloween weekend for 16 years. And Shane was the first speaker at that first retreat. And he didn't feel always like he had the education or intelligence, but he so did. Early on in our friendship, he was taking a class, an English class, and he'd been asked to talk to someone close to him and have them describe him back to himself. And I put smart, and we just sat there. He was not used to hearing that, and he was so clever, though. From finding, what we should eat next to this emotional intelligence he had. 7 years ago, and this year, presented a unique opportunities for us to grow very intimately through these illnesses, and I just want to testify what a courageous man he was and is. I've learned so much from you, honey. And that doesn't stop. I don't know, of course I'm completely unprepared for this, I am. Gratitude's very important to both of us. And I want to thank Mrs. Emerson. We've become so close, and your courage and companionship through this has you're part of my family. And to my mom, who's here, who when we were called to the hospital, I called her too, and my family immediately came up from LA, all four of them. I'm so grateful. Most of all, thank you, Shane. I am changed in the deepest way one can be, and I love you. Thank you.
My name is Jose Santana, and I just want to briefly mention that if I'm here today, it's in great part thanks to Shane. Love is a form of intelligence. It's the intuition that brings us to the right words when there are no words, that tells us when to step forward and when to back away. We feel love when we speak truth. When we are in our higher power's will, we naturally carry a message, and the message we need finds us. We tap into a love that is greater than ourselves and find that we are able to do things we never thought possible. Brilliance comes through us. We move to our own rhythm, finding a pace and a direction that is right for us. The trip is inward and it never stops. We take action in our own lives and in service to others, and we are amazed at the results. We live with dignity, integrity, and grace, and we know we can always get better. The more progress we recognize in ourselves and our fellows, the more we know it's possible. We continue to discover new ways to live, new freedom, and new paths to explore. We travel together as one in fellowship, and we pave the road as we walked, it for all who may follow. No matter how far we have come or how far we know we have to go, when we live clean and sober, the journey continues. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My deepest condolences to Mr. and Mrs. Emerson, Shane's brother Fallon, niece Gracie, and other family members and friends. My name is John Fostel, and I had the honor of sharing part of Shane's recovery journey as his sponsor. One of the greatest honors in our recovery life is the opportunity to sponsor another recovering person. Shane was very special in that he was by far one of the most dedicated and invested fellows I've had the privilege to work with. I've worked with many people over the several decades here, and Shane was always prepared and actually prepared me. So a lot of our time together was focused specifically on his recovery journey, working through the growth and challenges we all face along our path. We also spent time talking about his love for family, his parents, siblings, and the delight he shared when talking about the times he would spend with Gracie in Portland, with whom he adored. He adored that time. Other parts of our time together were spent on talking about the joy he derived from being part of a large work community high in the sky. Thank you all of his work fellows for showing up today. It's actually quite amazing. He loved the job very much and always had an interesting story about his experience. And I was constantly amazed what happens up there in the sky. He was also blessed with having the opportunity to sponsor others, as he understood one of the primary ways we get to keep our recovery is by being of service to others. I enjoyed our conversations about how proud he was of the fellows he sponsored, and our talks about how he might help them work through some of their challenges and his delight in their successes and growth. He loved his sponsees very much and appreciated the time he spent with each of them. All of you have a solid foundation in recovery from working with Shane, and I hope you will continue on your path to honor your time with him. Shane was very blessed to have a strong and supportive core group of long-term friends in recovery. Many of them are here today. They were a steadying force in his life and continue to show their love and respect for him through this memorial we are all participating in today. In closing, I would like to share a short poem with the family and all of you that has brought me some comfort over this time of transition for Shane. I don't think you would mind me remembering him this way. I offer it to you. The name of the poem is Remember Me. Speak of me as you have always done. Remember the good times, laughter, and fun. Share the happy memories we've made. Do not let them wither or fade. I'll be with you in the summer sun and when the winter's chill has come. I'll be the voice that whispers in the breeze. I'm peaceful now. Put your mind at ease. I've rested my eyes and gone to sleep, but memories we've shared are yours to keep. Sometimes our final days may be a test, but remember me when I was at my best. Although things may not be the same, don't be afraid to use my name. Let your sorrow last for just a little while. Comfort each other and try to smile. I've lived a life filled with joy and fun. Live on now. Make me proud of what you'll become. So in closing, please remember Shane with love and take care of yourselves and others as you go forward and celebrate his life. Thank you for allowing me to share some of my memories of Shane with you today.
Hi, I'm Lindsay. Shane was one of my best friends. I have so many things to say about him, but none of it would encompass the incredible man that he was. He was so very special, a kind, loving soul with impeccable taste and an awesome sense of humor. I called him Shaney, and he called me Lindsay Lou. We met in 1998 when he started flying. I liked him, and we had a lot in common, and it just created an instant bond. There are very few things that flight attendants can agree on. We are a large, diverse group, and we just have a lot of very different views. We can't actually even agree on how to set up a cart. I know the best way, but I'll keep that to myself. But I can tell you the one thing I know for sure we could all agree on. Every flight attendant that I've ever flown with that knew Shane just loved him. It was that simple. They may have been on the fence about me, but when they knew I was Shane's friend, I got a pass. He was a considerate, kind, hard-working flying partner. When you saw his name on a flight log, you smiled and you knew you were going to have a good flight. The other thing about Shane was that he looked so amazing in his uniform. He was handsome, debonair, his uniform was tailored and perfect. He made United Airlines look good every time he came to work. And as lovely as he was even better with our passengers. He cared about people. His attention to detail was unsurpassed. I was talking with our friend David, who's not a flight attendant, and he told me this story about how Shane cooked the hamburgers that we sell in Coach. These are just hamburgers that are in a brown bag. And I was like, what do you mean how we cook the hamburgers? We throw them in the oven and press the timer for 20 minutes and ta-da. He was like, no, Shane cooked them for 10 minutes on one side and then flipped them over in their bag and cooked them for 10 minutes on the other side. It blew my mind. He was a foodie and on an endless search for the best of the best when it came to eating. If you laid over with him, there was a high probability you were going to eat well. But with this discerning palate came a standard that, if not met, was quickly sent back to the kitchen. You need to kiss a lot of frogs to meet your prince. He knew what he liked, and he definitely knew what he didn't like. I remember once while going through security, he overheard a vendor talking to a TSA screener about the best empanada they'd ever had. He patiently waited for the vendor to get through security, which takes a while because they're bringing like 500 loaves of bread through security for the restaurants. He waited and he approached him and said, "I'm going to need all the details and the location on that." I'm so grateful for the trips we took and the incredible memories I have from them. I will cherish them. My 50th birthday in Palm Springs, recreating an Esther Williams movie in the pool, being in Honolulu together. He came out to see a group of us perform. Our drag queen van got towed, and about 7 queens piled into his rental car, and he saved us. And at that point, we were literally a clown car. In Provincetown, we ate delicious lobster and dressed up as Bob's Burgers for a Halloween party. He was Linda. We came in second, and some of us, Jared, are still bitter about it. And our final trip was in Tahoe for Jen's 50th birthday. I'm most grateful for that trip. We had so much fun just being together. We played this ridiculous game and laughed so hard we cried laughing on the floor. I never fathomed it would be our final trip. When I got sober in 2008, I started coming to meetings and I was a mess, as many newcomers are. I felt like an outsider and that I didn't belong. But when you come to the rooms of recovery and you see a friendly, familiar face, it makes you feel safe and it brings comfort. And that comfort is the difference between bolting or staying. And sometimes when you choose to stay, that's the difference between living or dying. Shane was there from the beginning of my sober journey. I'm so grateful I walked into a meeting one day and saw his beautiful face in this very church. The rooms of recovery have saved me many times and in so many ways. The community has lifted me up during the roughest times of my life, and this is one of those times. And this community has shown up in such an incredibly beautiful way. The outpouring of love has been nothing short of amazing. But that's the kind of warm, loving response anyone would have when it came to our beloved Shane. We'd do anything for him because we just adored him that much. Helping to care for Shane these last months was difficult, but it was also an absolute privilege. I'd do anything for him. And I'll miss the silliness we shared and the belly laughs, having him star in my videos, his wise counsel, his sage advice. There's a million things I'll miss. But he also left me something so beautiful. Mrs. Emerson is an absolute treasure. She is a warm, wonderful, funny woman and an awesome mom. We've grown very close these last few months. We've laughed, we've cried, and we've ate. We've ate a lot. She's fed half the Castro. So now I know why Shane was so remarkable, because his mother was just so wonderful. And you lost a son, but you gained a daughter. Although I'll miss him, I'm glad there's no more pain. He's flying free, and I have faith I'll see him on the other side. So next time I eat that delicious food, or hear that beautiful song, or laugh so hard I cry, I'll think of Shane, and I hope you do too. Because those are the things he savored and loved, and that's how I'd like to hold him close to my heart. Thank you.
So my own mom, she would oftentimes try to teach her 9 children that just the importance of love, that we are all molded and fashioned in love and by love. That love has this way of helping us to continue to become our potential, who we are truly meant to be. Shane was brought into this world with so much love. Raised in a loving home by beautiful, loving parents who truly molded and fashioned this amazing man into this loving person who, in little ways and in big ways, who impacted all of us. Truly, his life, it made a difference. Now, you might notice all around the sanctuary there are many, many different photographs. In the month of November, we begin with Dia de Muertos. We create a special ofrenda, a special altar of remembrance, and we bring in all of us. We bring in pictures of our beloved dead. Shane has now become part of this family of faith. Each year, his photo will also find a place here in our sanctuary. He will be remembered. His love will carry on. That beautiful smiling face. People will wonder what his story was, but they'll know it was a good story. So today, as we begin the process of our goodbye and our taking leave of this place, I'd like to invite Fallon and Gracie and Auntie Anna, Shane's family, to come forward to join us here. Shane's beloved ones. Yes, his family of origin, his family of choice. This beautiful community gathered to celebrate and to give thanks. In this little place, we talk about God's inclusive love. We talk about faith and hope and love. The greatest of these is love. And so we are gathered in love and we call out to our higher power. And now I'd like to invite all those who've been a part of our celebration today to come forward as we prepare to have our closing prayer and our final song. So all the ushers and the greeters, all those who spoke, all those who have a part in preparing this special day, please come forward and join us. Yes, all who are a part in any way, please come forward. And as we close every meeting, we turn to our higher power and we pray, God, grant me things I cannot change, your courage to change the things I am, and the wisdom to know the difference.
When all the world is a hopeless jumble, and the raindrops tumble all around, heaven opens a magic lane. When all the clouds darken up the skyway, there's a rainbow highway to be found, leading from your window pane to a place behind the sun, just a step beyond the someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble smelt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh why can't I?
And my friends, before we go our separate ways, we continue this celebration in a banquet, a feast, a joyful place and time, shaped out in no other way. We celebrate Him, we celebrate each other, we celebrate life. I ask blessings upon our brothers' earthly remains. I ask blessings upon all of us that we call out to that higher power. Give us hope, give us strength, give us courage, give us beautiful memories as we lovingly support each other. And so our celebration, our meeting, our time together, it continues. And we are all welcome to go downstairs. I think a lot of us are pretty familiar with that room downstairs. It's It's a comfortable space, and I want you to know you're always welcome upstairs. Light a candle if you'd like. Pause, remember. Just, it's good to sometimes stop and take a breath and just be thankful. Again, it's an honor to welcome you. I'm grateful even to those tiny, brief moments. I'm grateful to have known your beloved one, your dear Shane.
My name is Michael. Please join us downstairs for reception. We will have a mic open so anyone can come and share their love for Shane. And please join us. We'll see you all down there. Thank you.
Gracias.